look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this reaction video is this whole thing where women like to say that they are single moms by choice and that they are also making young boys effeminate. So we're going to go into Candace Owens and let her go ahead and kick it out for us. Hold on for 1 second. I'll put on your screen. Boom. Oh, that's too big. Boom, that's better. All right. Let's get it.
I believe women are being socially engineered to hate men, and men are being socially engineered to be gay. Don't at me. It's just what I see. I've picked up on it. They're just making men more and more effeminate, encouraging effeminate behavior. And so to further that initiative, there's been a movement originally started by, you guessed it, a psychoanalyst, and that movement is called Single Mothers by Choice. And I'm going to let you hear about that on a recent CBS episode in which they were celebrating Mother's Day. And so they decided to do that by showing single mothers by choice. Take a listen.
In honor of Mother's Day this Sunday, we're taking a look at a growing trend in motherhood, women becoming single moms by choice.
I said to myself, in 15 to 20 years, would I be more upset that I didn't have a kid or more upset that I didn't fall in love and get married? And I was like, if I didn't have a kid, for me, I feel like my life wouldn't be as fulfilled.
But you...
So for her, having a man is not important. This is how women like to just use men, see us as a utility or just sit or just beast the burden. I don't want the man, but I want his cum. I want his sperm. I want his nut so I can make the baby and stuff. We don't need men. All this craziness, man. You know how much of a fool you got to be to sit back and say you want to be a single mom by choice when almost all the odds are stacked against you? If you're not don't care about yourself, at least care about the child, because the statistical data shows that when a child is raised in a single parent home, almost everything is against that child. The higher likelihood of them getting STDs, early pregnancies, joining gangs, doing drugs, going to prison, all kinds of bad things, all the negative things increase when you are a single mom raising a daughter or a son. You understand what I'm saying? And like what she said earlier, about the effeminizing of men, it's true. These single parent mothers are making these boys weak and feminine. Now, all the members of the alphabet soup community, this is not to disrespect you, but let me tell you this. On my side, where the heterosexual men are, or the heterosexual women are, we get upset, we get mad when we see that a woman, or anyone, a woman, raising their little boy to be a sissy. What do I mean by that shit, man? When you have these little boys putting on their mama heels when they 12 or 13 or 10 years old, putting a little lipstick on their face, saying, look at me, mommy, when they little children and the mamas over there say, oh, ain't that cute? Let me take pictures. Let me post it on Facebook. Let me post it on Instagram. Look at my little man acting like a little girl. We get upset about that, and that's natural. That's natural to feel that way because no real heterosexual man wants to see his son or any other man's son, for that matter, act like a woman. We don't want to see that shit. Do we hate y'all? No. Do we agree with y'all? No. Do you understand what I'm saying? So live and let live, let people live in peace. But if you're heterosexual, man, we don't like that. And the problem is most women are raising their sons to be like them, highly emotional and suspect. You know, it's so bad that people misconstrue being gangster with being sissy. What do I mean? You ever see a woman, you looking at a woman, or see somebody look at a woman and she look back at him like, what the fuck are you looking at? You don't know me, and stuff like that. Now tell me how that's any different than a man when he see another man in the grocery store or someplace on the street and he looks at him and he said, man, do I know you, bro? What you looking at? You got a problem, man? It's feminine behavior. But we have gotten to the point where we think that is masculine. That's not masculinity, that is femininity. When a man acts like that, when a man is highly emotional, he got that shit from his mama. There's a lot of men out here who've been raised by women, daddy ain't been there, so they think that's being gangster, simply because they got a sack of balls. No. That's feminine behavior. So it's dangerous for a child to be raised in a single parent home by a woman. The data shows that if a child is raised in a single parent home that's ran by a father, he has more chances, or she has more chances of being more productive in the areas that count. You get what I'm saying? Not saying that they can't be productive or successful, but in the areas that count. Self-esteem, don't have low self-esteem, may not get pregnant at the early age, may not get STDs, may not go to jail, may not go to prison. So one of the most dangerous things that can happen to a child is to be raised in a single parent home by a woman who thinks like this. Let's continue.
I was like, if I didn't have a kid, for me, I feel like my life wouldn't be as fulfilled.
But you do wonder, and I'm just going through this in my head right now, what about the men that are being raised in those environments? So mom decides to be a single mom. She picks, in America, you can choose gender. I'm going to have boys only. How do those men fare in society? Well, take a listen to one such case.
Brothers Mackenzie and Cooper Schoenthaler were chosen by their mother, a doctor, more than 2 decades ago. She had them at 41 and 45 using the same donor.
Didn't see our parents cry, and scream and throw things, and because there weren't 2 parents.
How has that impacted your own relationships by not seeing tension, by not seeing people work through those same things that you spoke of?
I think that I am more conflict avoidant than other people as a result, because I was raised in a household with 0 conflict. Perhaps that's one of the drawbacks.
Now, when you listen to that boy talk, he seems feminine. I don't know what his sexuality is, what his preference is, but the way he talk, he has females. Think about how he talk. I'm more, conflict avoidant, and it's not to make fun of nobody, but like if you are a boy growing up and you are not able to learn how to process conflict, you're going to get chewed up by the wolves outside your household. Because even though you want peace, there going to be people out there who don't want to have peace. There going to be people who going to try you. There going to be people who going to test your boundaries. And if you're afraid of conflict, you're going to be a pussy. They're going to run all over you. They're going to take everything you got, and you will never be able to have a woman, because no woman want to be with a man who can't protect himself, let alone her. Think about what I'm saying now. But if you got a man, now I ain't talking about a man who at home who don't do his fatherly duties. I'm talking about a real man who's a real father. He gonna teach you how to mix it up. He gonna teach you how to defend yourself. But he also gonna teach you not to start trash either, not to start nothing. Just defend yourself. This is why you gotta have a man in the household, man.
Perhaps that's one of the drawbacks.
Gay. Sorry to say it. But, and by the way, I'm being 90s gay. Just not cool. It's not cool to raise men not to be men. There is an element, okay, of being a man is attributed to aggression. Aggression is not a bad thing. Now, these new psychoanalysts will try to convince you it is, but it's not. It's natural, okay? It is a biological instinct for men to be aggressive. When I tell you that my son wakes up in the morning, grabs a sword, finds my husband, wants to fight, wants to beat him up, you see this and you go, this is phenomenal. And the reason why that is natural is because men are supposed to go out and defend.
Bingo. Bingo. See, now y'all call that shit toxic masculinity. No, it's not. It's just being a man. When you call something like that toxic masculinity, what you're really saying is that you are a toxic feminist who practices toxic femininity, because femininity embraces masculinity, even if it comes across as aggressive, because she's right. A man wants to conquer. A man wants to defend. A man wants to protect. A man wants to subdue. A man wants to gather. A man wants to come up. When you take away those basic innate things that are inside of a man's soul, then you turn him into a bitch. Straight up. So when you cancel out what makes a man, the only thing that's going to remain are the things that you are putting into him, the things that you are depositing into his mind and psyche. If you remove the masculine tendencies that are naturally instinctive, and put in feminine qualities and try to make a man or a boy see the world through the eyes of a woman, he's going to be a pushover. He's going to be weak. He's going to be a beta male. He's not going to be successful. He's going to be a person who doesn't have a lot of confidence. He's not going to have any swag. You are stunting the growth of that young boy. Single moms do this stuff. Not single father parents. Single mothers do this stuff.
Okay, they're not supposed to be sitting in a classroom learning about their feelings and 76 genders that they can choose from. Okay, they are biologically inclined to protect and to defend. And so now what they're doing is they're removing that. And of course, like I said, that is going to be the circumstance when you have them surrounded by women, because I just think, wow, if I was raising my son alone, every time he comes at me with that little plastic sword, the first thing I say is, I don't want to fight. Come find mommy when you want to hug, when you want to be nurtured, okay?
In other words, you're going to make that boy soft.
So what's happening is you have these female breeders, so to speak, who are breeding that out of men. And let me tell you something right now, there is no society that can survive without strong men. And I think that, of course, is the purpose, to make sure that there is no threat that the government needs to perceive as they take over every element of our lives. How do they do this? Well, the first thing is you have to sort of have that very rationally explains to you why this is actually really a good thing. Let's take a listen.
So people have this idea that being a single mom by choice, which is using a donor to have is like this wild thing. It's so outlandish and crazy. But today was just a reminder, because we're going to visit my grandmother's grave, and she was a mom of 6. She ended up being a single mom later in life. She lost 2 of her children way too young. But it's just a reminder that life just goes by like this. And if we allow the judgments and opinions and perceived judgments even of the people around us, or people we don't even know, to dictate the way we live our lives, we're selling ourselves so short. If you feel called to have a family of your own, even though you're not married or doing it the traditional way, stop being hard on yourself. You deserve to create the life that you want, despite those circumstances.
All you hear is a bunch of selfishness. Create the life that you want. But don't forget, don't care about nobody else think. Don't care about how the child gonna be raised. Don't care about the circumstances and the situation you're created because you don't want to have a man in the life. Don't feel bad. Think about you. This is a selfish generation, man.
Okay, life is freaking short, man. It goes by like this.
And that, my friends, is how young, impressionable minds, she's a bit older, brain is developed. I think your brain develops about around the age of 26, 27. And people whose brains are not developed, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, are watching that and they find their asylum. You have people who have their whole life ahead of them and could meet someone and start a family and offer that child the best chance at life. Statistically speaking, rationally and spiritually speaking, your child is going to be infinitely better off if they grow up in a stable 2-parent environment. But then they've got these people telling them that, like, you know, you just choose it. Just make a decision by yourself. You're big. And she sounds rational. She's saying, like, life is short. Everybody loves that. You put that on a bumper sticker. Life is short. Have a kid without a father. And they listen to that. And then somebody speeds that up and tries to make it look like cool and funny. And here's an example of just that.
I'm a single mom by choice. Of course, all my daughter's weird quirks are from her donor. I'm a single mother by choice. Of course, we're spending all the holidays with my side of the family. I'm a single mom by choice. Of course, I'm my daughter's favorite parent.
So sweet. Of course I'm my daughter's favorite parent. Of course we're spending holidays at my parents' house. It's not funny. It's actually just not funny what they're actually doing here, because they're making it cool and catchy, because that really shows how mature and well-rounded you are when you're trying to make being a single mother by choice boppy. Like just throwing some music behind it and using a bunch of flashes. Oh my God, look how great my day is being a single mother by choice. I have zero regrets. This is so great.
Exactly. And I agree with her 100% on that right there. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about what y'all just saw, man. I'll be talking to y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all take it easy now, you hear?